All right, here with my boy LC.
What's up? What's up?
You probably have the best home simulator learning studio anyone will ever see.
Yeah,
I think by some margin.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows Chris Como also has one in his
Is it
house.
kind of like this? Okay, fine.
Yeah,
in Canada.
Yeah, for sure. But probably in Canada, yes. Yeah, probably in Canada, yes.
So you've got GC Quad Foresight, obviously.
Yep.
You now have dual plate swing cat, which we're going to talk about today.
Yep.
And you also have gears, which I think we'll talk about probably in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Undergoing your training with that because it's quite a system.
Yes.
But we're going to focus on this for now. So I remember when you got the first plate was a single plate, right?
Right.
And I remember you saying like, oh, I'm super excited. I'm getting dual plate swing cat. So this is like kind of the Rolls Royce of swing cat
Totally,
right now.
yeah. Right now, like dual plates just can help measure individually.
Yeah.
Each foot individually versus with a single plate, it's just kind of a tool.
Which makes a lot of sense. You obviously need to know the dynamics between both. So in a nutshell, with your students, like what does this allow you to do that you weren't previously able to sort of use it in a lesson for?
Yeah, so previously, and a lot of it was thanks to my work with Ian Warner, my strength coach, and my flight therapist Jason. So with their deep S&C background, I was able to cue people the right way, whether it's using their legs, whether it's using their body. So I kind of can see already what I want to see based on just camera alone.
Okay.
But with this, it's a lot easier for me to quantify that to my clients. So I can actually, it's easier to cue them to go more because without quantifiable data, I can't be like, oh, go more. I can tell them, but I can't really show them if they're actually on the right track.
Even visually, like I'm sure you can tell when people are applying force to the ground.
Totally.
But there's torsional force?
Yeah, so the big three are the vertical, which is us squatting down and up.
Yeah.
The torque force, which really helps do a lot of the rotational piece.
Right, so that would be measuring how much you're moving that way.
And then the lateral is just kind of like me pushing sideways. Yeah, so those are the big three.
And so there should be a blend of the three for like an effective golf swing. And I know if you're in long drive, I'm sure the rates are a bit different.
Totally.
And for a PGA Tour player, the rates are probably a bit different. But like this allows you to say, okay, this is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to move. And then you can measure how far away someone is and make the necessary adjustments. Is that basically
totally.
it?
Yeah, and just when I spoke briefly with the guys at Swing Cat, they said there was kind of like a black band. You're gonna see on the graph later. There's a black band that kind of is tour average. So everyone loves comparing the tour averages, whether it's their launch monitor data or whatnot. Yeah. They have a tour average band as well.
Oh, cool.
They told me typically most good players cover 2 or 3.
But not all three.
Not all. Most guys won't go all 3.
Yeah. What I want to do is let's do a little baseline today.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I haven't seen you hit balls in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So let's figure out what my data is as a starting point. You can kind of walk me through, and everybody will ask some questions about how it works, and then we'll probably revisit this in a few months.
Yeah, totally.
And see
get warmed up, and then once you're warmed up, we can get kind of some like baseline game speed data, and then we'll go over it, and then we can talk about what we want to see from you after that.
Sweet.
That's better.
Yeah, that's a good feeling swing, that one.
So that's how you swing. Pretty similar to what you normally do. A couple things that tend to pop out right away would be I would rather you. Right now, your turn and your arm movement is not as synced up as I would like it to be.
Agreed.
Your arms are moving a little bit more than your torso turn is turning. Okay.
Gotcha.
But that's we can always work on that later.
Yeah.
Let's just look at this first, okay?
Sure, yeah.
So you have a lot of lateral. That's the most common thing that most people have. It's the lateral.
Gotcha.
So you can see you are
below
the black
lines.
bands. You're under the black band for both torque and vertical. So you're pushing 160 of your max body weight. Okay.
Interesting.
That should be at least double.
Oh,
in terms of like you are leaving a lot of power on the table right now.
Interesting.
Torque, you're not bad. You're just flirting with it, but you're gonna see like if you crank that up on both, you're gonna be able to generate a lot more power.
That's cool.
When we look at our buddy Ryan, so this is driver of him. Before we really gave him a feel for it, he was 111 club speed. So this is 111, 155, typical good player. That's his average. So not bad.
Very stock like tee shot.
Exactly. This is a very stock like tee shot. You see, his legs change flex. He doesn't change the level too much though. You see where his head is?
Yeah. Gotcha.
He stays tall throughout. Okay. Still uses his legs very well. But some things to keep an eye on is this. So he's pushing 246 of his percentage of his body weight. So almost 2.5 times his body weight.
What was I, 160% or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But driver will always be more than the iron.
Of course, yeah.
But you should still be at least 200 with your irons, okay?
Yes.
So he's 246 with the body weight for the vertical, 169 for the torque, okay?
Yep.
If we look at the next driver, and the Q, I think, will also work well for you because you don't torque much at all, would be I asked him to make a 360-degree jump to his right side. You can see a little bit more effort with the legs, right?
Interesting, yeah.
So you can see a little bit more effort with the legs. You can see his head rise a bit more.
Yeah. And
Be to lowering more and then pushing back up more. You can see his foot leaves the ground a lot more as well. You see that?
Very cool.
So we're trying to maximize tons of effort with his legs as if you're doing let's say you're doing an Olympic lift.
Gotcha.
We want you to maximize the force output from your legs.
And that's how we got these much higher spikes.
Exactly. So if you're to jump, so I'm gonna do it. I'll do it as a righty. Okay.
Okay.
So if I were to jump to my left, right?
Yes.
I would load into the ground. You see how I kind of swing my arms to my trail side?
Yep.
So that's kind of the loading phase of the jump.
Yep.
And eventually I'm gonna jump up as high as I can.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? In a
does.
rotational manner. So how the timing works for you in a golf swing is you'll still make the same backswing, but then when you load the start of the downswing, the first half of the downswing is this portion, and as you start pushing back up, is basically from the second half of the downswing.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So we want to make it as reactive as possible. Okay?
So really the club will be around here when I start
Yes.
feeling that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let's try.
Let's try.
And it's going to be the jump up portion that will bring your upper body, your arms, and your hands through the ball, okay?
Jump up portion, okay.
Yep.
I think I'm feeling right now, I'm mostly just feeling, I don't feel that I'm really pushing
Yeah,
up.
so make a back, let's do a rehearsal. So do a backswing. So now feel like you load down into the ground as you rotate though. Yeah, do you feel that? Do you feel heavy in your legs?
Yes.
And then now push up and around as hard as you can. And that's what will bring your arms and hands and club to the ball. That's a better try. That's a better attempt there.
I think I'm still too concerned about hitting the ball properly.
Yeah, if you miss, you miss.
I mostly need to just
But
focus.
dude, look at this. Look at this quickly. So remember you were 160 with vertical. Now you're 194.
Okay, so it is moving somewhat.
Right. Ooh.
Felt like a decent attempt. It's funny though, I think like for me, I have to slowly sort of like convince myself to get more exaggerated. Because I'm still like in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I still need to
Still
strike
102,
the ball.
not bad. 102, 138. Pretty good strike too.
It's great, yeah.
Number wise, we're looking at 181, so not bad. Yeah, but let's try to catch 200 today.
Yeah,
we'll ignore the torque for now. Let's just hold on to the
the up and
vertical,
down
okay?
first. Okay.
Yeah, the down and up will be most important right now for you. Good try.
Like I need to go lower. That wasn't that low. It was lowish, but not much.
Good try.
I don't know if I'm doing less or more. They've all been around the same, haven't they? I'm plateauing
You're similarly at the 180.
Yeah, I'm plateauing.
Yeah.
So what do you think it is? I know I'm getting lower, but I'm not pushing.
Let's focus on just the vertical. Forget about the rotational for now, right? So put the club on the ground again. And then if you're to jump as high as you can, you would, watch me, if you're just literally jumping up and down, you would load low. So do that, so load low.
Yeah.
Good, you feel that? You feel how your hamstrings are engaged there? You feel that? Yep. And as you load, then you would push up and extend as high as you can. Right, do you feel that?
Okay.
But like hard intent, okay? Hard intense, yep. Okay. You felt that, right?
I felt that, and I'm
not very reactive. You gotta be very reactive here.
Okay.
Okay, that was close. That was different.
Maybe it was. I felt like I lifted off the ground.
The effort level was different there.
I felt a foot might have had some daylight.
Yeah, your feet actually left the ground there.
Give me a 200 or something.
Dude, 211.
Yes. Okay, so that was the missing piece. Is that you definitely explained it really well, like this feeling. But I was just then going.
Totally.
So the difference is load down with the intention.
Totally. There's no point of loading down unless you're coming back up.
Yeah.
But that was really good. So that was 211 there, 104 club.
Wow, that's really cool.
That's really very different as well. Let's try again.
I'm going to do one more to see if I can beat that, but I think I got a good grasp of what you just said.
Good effort, good effort, good effort.
I think it's my best try.
Yeah, and again, like you see, you're leaving the ground right now, all good for now.
Yeah.
Because the intent right now is to just max the jump. It's not to hit the ball.
No, but it's to train your body the sequence.
Totally.
Right?
So let's see what that gave us. 104, 141 at 222.
Okay, so we achieved.
So that's very, very different. So you can see.
Why don't we look at where let's look at the very first one compared to that.
Totally.
One.
So let me save this one.
It's really interesting, bud.
So you can really see your legs really leave there, right?
Yeah.
You sink down to really push up 222 on the max there.
Vertical
on the
force.
max vertical there. You were 160.
So interesting.
Yeah, see the difference?
I'm just almost watching my belt line. It's just like it didn't move really vertically at all.
And one thing you can also note is when you start the transition, note the space between your left and right knee, okay? Your left knee kind of just follows your right knee, right?
Yes.
If we look back to the one we just did, you can see
increasing the distance between your
yeah,
knees.
there's a little more space now because you're actually engaging both legs now, right?
Gotcha.
If your trail leg always caves in, right? Your trail leg is not doing anything.
So I was kind of, just to exaggerate, I'm kind of doing this versus now.
You are a very typical amateur golfer of
here.
Exactly.
So what I'm feeling now is more
widening, totally,
and then upwards.
Now we want to make sure you don't widen by just faking it, right?
It has to be from
totally, yeah. The wider look comes because you're loading properly with the legs in the first half of the downswing.
Very interesting.
A lot of amateur golfers, like you, are very typical where people want to get to the front side, but when they do that, they ignore the trail side.
Yeah.
So if I go to your front side, the trail side just follows.
And then so all their power, if they generate,
is from just the front side.
Is horizontal.
Correct.
Axis, no vertical, and probably not much torque as well.
Totally. And a lot of the times, they're just using one leg to push back.
Yeah.
Versus, I want it eventually to be trail leg and lead leg push. That's to maximize it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was really cool. Thank you for doing
this.
That's good.
No, you're welcome. No, I'm glad you can feel and see the difference.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
So next time, I think what we should do is let's do the same. Well, I'm going to work on it in between, but let's hit some drivers. And see what that vertical force we can get to with the drivers.
Yeah,
I just wanted to do it with the iron just to get a feel for the drill. And it helped me not focus too much on contact.
No, I'd love to see it.
But yeah, you guys can see how, I don't know, 8-9 miles an hour of club head speed. Not that I'm trying to swing a 6-iron faster, but I'm trying to generate speed.
And at the end of the day, if you get better with this, it may not feel max effort. It may still feel the same effort you did when you started the day.
But it's better sequencing.
But you get better sequencing, you're going to get better output.
Yes.
So you may eventually, in a few months, feel 104, 103, 102 at the same effort that you put in at 98 at the start of today.
It makes total sense.
Just because the sequence is much better.
Love it. Okay, so more to come on this. I'm going to practice and then we'll do this again.
Totally, yeah. Sounds good to me.
Awesome. Okay, guys, thanks for watching.